Well, the only way to kick this thing off is just to kick it off. And here we are. Larry Bennett coming to you live from deep East Texas. It's Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. I hope all of y'all are doing great. I got a topic that came up in my mind a minute ago, and I've related it through the years to several of my friends at work, co-workers that had undergone stents for the heart and whatnot. And what got me thinking about it was one of the podcasters. He's run into some cardiovascular situations that he's dealing with, and I wanted to give him some encouragement. And this is a true story, and it happened within my midst. I was there, and it has to do with my dad. My father had his first heart attack when he was 44 years old, and which set about a life-changing events for the rest of his life. And what he back then, the bypass, they didn't use stents. They used veins out of the legs. And he used to tell me, he said, my legs hurt more than anything else where they took that vein out. But anyway, but it put him in awareness of his health. Without it, your history. And so what he did, he started a walking campaign, and he really started watching what he ate. And he had stopped smoking in his early 30s. So I never really knew him as a smoker, but he had. And but he told me, he said, no, I stopped that when I was in my early 30s. But anyway, the way my diet and exercise, anyway. So here's the other end of the story, though. He had a group of friends. They were co-workers, and they would all meet. I don't even know if they play this game anymore, but they all played bridge at our house, and they'd rotate homes, and there'd be like 14 of them. It was an amazing deal, and back then smoking was in. I mean, man, I can still remember going through there when I was a kid, and man, the smoke was so heavy. Everybody smoked inside. And some were cigars, some were cigarette. Anyway, the men and women, not smoking cigars, but they were smoking cigarettes. And but I can even call their names. I see them around the tables, and but nearly all of them were heavy smokers. And but like I say, my dad was 44, and he was the youngest one in his group to have ever had a heart attack in all of those folks. And the point I'm getting to is this. The podcaster that I'm wanting to reach out to that's having these issues, his name's Ronnie, and Ronnie C., and I want you to know something. He was the earliest one to have a heart attack, but he outlived every one of those gentlemen. Every one of them. Every one of them. He outlived them by multiple years. I mean, many years. He had that first one at 44, and he passed away when he was 88 from a stroke. And then that didn't get him. It was he went to a facility, and he was just so, you could tell he was wanting to come out of that stroke so bad. And anyway, but I just thought that was an amazing story. And but here he was, the first one to have it and the last one to leave the room, so to speak. He outlived all of his friends, all the co-workers, everyone that I'm thinking about in that 14. Now, 7 of those were wives, but out of all of those men, he outlived every one. So, Ronnie, you can change up your lifestyle, and it'll doggone sure make a difference. And I used to tell the fellas at work that were having those stents put in, that same story, to encourage them that this doesn't have to be the end. Look at it like the beginning. And that's how my dad took it. You know what? I'm going to make some changes. And he did, and he outlived them all. And that is a fact. I'll tell you something else, too, about him. When he passed away, up until the stroke, and he was 88, he was as sharp as he had ever been. No dementia, no Alzheimer's, nothing. He was heavy into the stock market, and he made his own decisions, and he'd have probably been better off listening to Warren, but anyway, he did really well. But it just shows you don't have to be determined by one set of events. Let it be a light switch that comes on and says, you know what, we can look at this 2 different ways. This can be a new beginning, and that's the way I'm going to look at things. It's the new beginning, and I hope you take it upon yourself to. I watch Mountain Man Mike, I call him, on WASHITA Mountain, and all the changes he's made in his lifestyle and what he's done. I mean, I think he said he lost 160 pounds, and he had already stopped drinking, and he had stopped smoking before that, and lifestyle changing. And he said I heard him last week, he said, I've never felt better in my life, even when he was a young man. And he said, I get more done, and I think Mike's in his 60s. But anyway, it's just a state of mind. It's that attitude that we, what are we going to do to meet these challenges and overcome them, and look for the better days. Yeah, this is good, but the best is yet to come. And that's how I look at it also. I really do. I'm doing some things right now, and I've kept it kind of on the down low because I'm not through yet. In about another 3 to 4 weeks, I will share with y'all some big changes that I made, and but for health, not that I was having a problem, but I didn't want to have any, so I made some changes, and I'll share with you those. And but we got about 3 to 4 weeks, and then I'll be where I want to be, and I'll have done what I set out to do. And then if I go further, well, we'll see. but life is all about change, and it's such a joy, and I love my life, and I love what I'm doing, and I really get a kick out of. I really have more fun watching others anymore. I really do. Watching the grandkids especially, and they're growing, and they're learning, and the experiences that they're having, that brings such a joy to me. It's not that I got to be around them a lot or anything like that. It's the thank God for videos and photos and storylines and the cell phones, and I can watch them. And I get the biggest kick out of them. Their basketball games, their soccer games. The one that was playing, and she isn't playing now, but when she was playing piano, it was so cool. All the things that they're getting to do, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu that they were into for, my God, I think that was going on 4 years. And all these things that they're getting to do. And so it really is a neat experience, this life trip that we're on. And I hope I'd love to make it to 107 like that gentleman the other day that President Trump introduced. That's probably not in the cards for me. But I did have a friend. He just passed away a few years ago, and he was my mentor. He taught me so much. His name was Gerald Holloway, and he passed away at 96. And sharp as a tack all the way to the end. The last year, I'm not even sure how he did it, but they were telling me one of his last financial deals, he made over $500,000. Gave it all to his grandkids. And but he was a sweetheart. He was so good to me. Taught me so much. I can still hear him say, Bennett, all these questions, you asked too many questions. Yeah, and I told him the truth too. I did. I still remember the conversation in the control room. Yeah, well, how in the hell am I supposed to learn if I don't ask you? And he said, well, that's true too. You know, he was a great man. But I was so fortunate to have run into a man like him. And anyway, fellas, if you don't have one, find you a mentor, somebody that you'd like to emulate, somebody that's got something that you want, like knowledge. And Gerald had it in spades, man. He was so sharp. And well, look, I see that I'm rolling over time here, and I'll shut up with that. Just to know that, the moment, it doesn't have to define us. What it can do is lead to moments that do define us. And take those moments and make the very most of yourself. Do what Mike's doing in WASHITA Mike. And Offended Outcast. There's another one. Just because there's some age there, and just because that they're at a point in life where folks said, well, didn't you wait a little bit? No, They'll tell you, hey, we're just getting started. And I love that. And the best is yet to come. All right, that's enough out of me, and I love y'all. And let's have a great Tuesday, and every day, make it your best day. And I hope y'all have a great time today. And remember, if you ain't having fun, it's your own damn fault. I love y'all. Bye-bye.